County TV and Appliance has served designers, architects, builders, and homeowners since 1951. Located in Stamford, Connecticut, we have created a beautiful contemporary space to showcase the Monogram appliance line. Monogram believes it's the sum of the details that define luxury, and they create features that feel anything but ordinary. The Monogram Statement Collection is a perfect example, with edge-to-edge handles, polished stainless steel, and rich, interactive graphic displays. Monogram ranges are precisely engineered to perform beyond expectations. Monogram takes pride in the quality and artistry of its materials, with uncompromising attention to every detail. You can see this in the minimalist collection's streamlined design, or in the handcrafted luxury of the Monogram Hearth oven. From the brushed stainless exterior to the simple touch controls, each electric hearth oven captures the performance of a wood-fired brick oven. The precision of craftsmanship is also reflected in cooking performance. The Monogram 5-in-1 oven with Advantium technology uses 4 technologies to deliver fast, quality results. It can be used as a convection oven, toaster oven, warming or proofing oven, precision cook oven, and microwave, offering exceptional flexibility. Monogram's refrigerators are no different. Climate control drawers allow you to express chill beverages and express thaw meats. Monogram's column refrigerators offer handcrafted details like adjustable aluminum door bins with glass accents, which are engineered to get stronger when cold, and ramp up LED interior lighting. Here at County TV and Appliance, we are proud to showcase all of these incredible Monogram appliances. Our expert team is ready to help you find the perfect choice for your needs.
Hi all, and welcome to another episode of DesignTV. I'm Shannon Sharpe. I am a Luxe Interior Design home editor for both Arizona and Chicago, and I'm so excited to have with us today designer Stephanie Wohlner, who actually divides her time between both of these regions. And Stephanie has been based in Chicago for many years now. And then recently she decided to build a second home in Arizona. And we featured it on the cover of our May-June 2020 issue, and it is simply stunning. Stephanie, welcome. It's so wonderful to see your lovely face. And I know that your Arizona home has actually become your primary residence since COVID. So I guess your timing was perfect because you haven't had to hunker down in a cold Chicago winter.
It's true. We have been outside a lot. And even when we're outside, there's heaters. So it's nice. And we can just stay around here. I don't have to venture anywhere, which is great right now. And I'm not sick of it.
And, you know, I know that you had a very long search for this property. It took you a while. You just couldn't find the perfect location or home for renovation. Could you kind of talk about your search and why this property you decided to build upon worked so well?
We searched for 2 years in Paradise Valley, and I always thought that's where I wanted to be because it was where the action is and it was near town, and I never saw myself in a golf course community. I couldn't picture that. So we looked and all the homes we found were basically to be torn down, and they were difficult builds, and if they weren't, they had just been done, and of course I wanted to change everything anyway. So after 2 years, we decided to come up north, and we found this lot, and it was magnificent and quiet. The views were beautiful. The club is beautiful, and that was it. It was a quick find, luckily.
A quick
And
find after 2 years.
yeah, after 2 years, then this was exactly.
Good. So, I know designing a home for yourself is obviously a much different experience than designing for clients. And I know that the last home you designed for yourself was in Chicago, your Chicago home, quite a long time ago. And I'd love for you to talk about your vision, how you had to edit yourself down, and how that evolved.
So the home in Chicago, I did 22 years ago. So it was a long time, and the home is 100 years old. So it was quite different than building your own home in a completely different environment than I grew up in. And the editing process was complicated because I had, since I had built the home in Chicago, I had so many projects that I had done with so many beautiful things that I had collected in my brain, and I had to take away a lot of it. And it was like I had to subtract, and it was hard because there were so many things that I really loved. And the interesting part of it was that all the jobs I've done were really very different from one another. But what I discovered was there is a theme, and that's what I found in this home. There's a part of my work is very collected and textured and layered, and whether it be very traditional, whether it be modern, that seems to be what I love, my look. So that's what I came to after.
And you saw it as being originally a modern glass house, and what it became to be was more of a modern Mediterranean.
Right. I always thought that's what I was going to build. Very, again, edited home. But the homeowners association here was very specific about the look that I was allowed to build. So I decided I was going to become more modern on the inside and Mediterranean, which is what they wanted on the outside. And then that evolved too.
Because it's a little different than one might think of with Mediterranean. It's not heavy. It's not that heavy Tuscan feel. It still feels very light and airy, and it feels very modern still.
Yes, and that's how it evolved, really, because I was in a quandary with the Mediterranean look and then the modern look and how I was going to achieve that. And it all came together, thankfully, after a few years of this process. It did take a few years to do this too. Again, I wish I was younger.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
I feel like, and the thing is, so you've worked with a local Arizona design team. You didn't bring in like people that you'd worked with in Chicago. Architecture firm PHX, Salcito, construction, Berghoff Design Group for the landscaping. And what was it that, when you were searching for local design pros, what were you looking for, and what spoke to you about these different firms?
Well, first of all, I did bring a few people from Chicago in. I brought in Doug Durbin from New House Kitchens, and he and I worked through the kitchen and some of the built-ins together. Just because he and I had worked together for so many years, I felt most comfortable with him. And my drapery workroom. In terms of the people here, I met Eric, who was the architect, and he and I just connected right away. He's very easy to know, and it was very comfortable. And then he brought in Anthony, who was immediately, I knew he was a perfectionist. And I knew that if I wasn't in Arizona while this was going on, he would take care of it. And he did. So it was interesting.
And were they the ones who recommended Jeff Berghoff for the landscaping?
Yes, they recommended Jeff, and Jeff and I were great together too. He had a bit of a struggle with me because my landscaping was very Midwestern. And I have an English garden at home, and there's a specific look that I love, and he did integrate it in the desert, which was interesting. I still have a rose garden here. So he heard me, and it was great. I think everybody really listened, which was wonderful.
Yeah, it's really important for the entire design team to understand the goals and, work together to accomplish that.
Right.
As I said, I have been lucky enough to visit your home, and it's just so warm and welcoming. And I feel like that can be a challenge often with such a large space. And you actually mentioned, you spoke to the fact of, like, you believe in, like, things having a collected feel. Could you speak to the different materials, furnishings, and colors you use to achieve this warm vibe?
Warmth is very important to me in all my projects because I think people tend to look at a magazine and say, oh, this is what I want, and it's all beige, and that's safe. So I didn't want to do that here. And the ceilings were very high, and I was nervous about that. So in order to not have an echo feeling in this house, I brought the ceilings down a bit with beams, which are heavy and rustic, and wallpaper. And that seemed to give me the feeling that I wanted of intimacy in this home.
And one of my favorite spaces is the kitchen, which has that stunning tile. And, what made you choose that? Why was that something that you knew you wanted in the design?
That was the first thing I chose in the whole house.
Mhm.
And it was daring for sure, but I knew that the palette of the house, the bones, the paint were going to be neutral. So I wanted to have some tension in the kitchen floor, and the floor actually happened to pull in all the other fabrics from the rest of the house. So it was sort of the core of the home, which is interesting because the kitchen is the core of the home.
Yeah,
And I feel like when you walk in there, it just relates so well to everything else.
it absolutely does.
Mhm.
And another thing that was important to you, and your home, it's U-shaped, and so there's a lot of hallways, but you didn't want the hallways to feel like just as a space you're getting from one room to the other. It was very important for them to actually serve as galleries. Could you speak to that, and some of the art that you chose for those spaces?
Because the house has a lot of windows, there wasn't and isn't a lot of wall space in each specific room, but there are a lot of hallways. So instead of just having a maze of halls, I decided those would be my art galleries. And it kind of, it was my collection throughout these our collection throughout these galleries. And it made those spaces feel much more intimate, almost like rooms unto themselves. My husband and I searched for probably 4 years for art, and we bought what we loved. We had a deal that we had to both agree on it, and it just happened to work wherever we bought it. We weren't specific about where it was going to go, but the pieces worked in all these different spaces throughout the hallways and rooms.
Yeah, it is. It's just I know you said that it was interesting how certain pieces, just you would look at each other and look at the piece and just know this is it, which is so important.
Yeah.
And you even put a piece of art in the bathroom, right?
That was new recently.
Yeah.
That's the thing about buying art is I think you go and you look for things you love, and you really can't think, okay, I have this space, unless
Right.
you have maybe two pieces to buy. But we found this piece of art recently in Arizona, and we were looking for our bedroom, and it ended up in the bathroom. So you don't know. But I
Never
figured the
know.
bathroom is a space you're in every single day, and I do look at that piece of art every single day. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm a big believer of art in the bathroom. Why not? Art
yeah,
should be in every room.
it should. It's important. It's very important.
It is. And the whole home is so beautiful, and I can see you spending so much time in every space. I feel like every space could be well lived in. But could you describe how you live in the home? Where do you spend most of your time, and what are your favorite spaces?
Okay, for sure the kitchen, which I think is pretty common. We are in there a lot. And the kitchen flows to the barbecue patio, which is the room that was on the cover of the issue. And that's probably my most favorite room because I can sit out there. I get a little bit of sun, but not too much. And it's very comfortable. Watch TV, read, and then I can go right into the kitchen if I need to. The other thing that's so great about that room is it is where we serve appetizers when we have people over, and then we can then go into the dining room. So instead of having to take apart my dining room table, which is usually set when I have people over, I'm able to leave the dining room as it is, have appetizers in the barbecue patio and drinks, and then go into the dining room. So it's also encased by lavender and hummingbirds and reclaimed terracotta. I'm very lucky. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And the way it's laid out really offers, and I know that part of the reason that this home was important to you was to have a place for your family to descend upon. And there's, you know, the living space, the dining space, there's the pool, all in that one, you know, U-shaped courtyard, basically. Right. And it really brings everyone out there, no matter what they want to do, just to enjoy the outdoors and be together.
It does. One of the riskier things I did do was I had our dining room built outside. So we don't have an interior dining room. We have a dining room, we have a kitchen table, but I wanted everybody to be able to, I wanted to force everybody outside because I thought, if I'm going to be here, we need to be outside. I don't want to be in the house like I am in Chicago all the time in the winter. So we use the room all the time. It's heated, the dining room, and we have dinner there as just, you know, a small family and then as a large group every night. So it's awesome.
It really is. Stephanie, I want to thank you so much for, first of all, sharing your home, both in print and now on DesignTV. We're so honored to be able to share this with our readers and viewers. It's simply stunning. I cannot testify to that enough. I can't wait till I get back to Arizona because I'm going to come over for dinner.
I want you to. That's what this is for. Yeah. Family, friends to enjoy. So thank you very much. Exactly. I'm very flattered. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you to our DesignTV viewers and print magazine readers as well. We love the fact that you all are so supportive of Luxe and all our design magazines. Thanks again. I hope to be seeing you all soon.
Hi, I'm Chen Chen.
I'm Kai Williams.
And welcome to our studio. We do a lot of prototyping and one-off projects here in the studio. We also design for manufacturing where, you know, a factory would produce the design. But even in those cases, we will be making functional prototypes here as close to the final materials as we can make it in our studio.
So I think a lot of the work is really process-based for us. So, you know, it's important for us to make maybe 20, 30 iterations of the object and the actual material before we even get to sort of making the final thing. So the walls behind us are full of these functional, half-finished prototypes of different materials and different things.
We really like to work from the materials. We're really responding to what the material is showing us. So we actually don't really draw anything until it's the last step.
This is an experiment where it's aluminum cast with water beads and aluminum sort of cools between them before we started working together, which is it's like a really interesting product because like it's made out of spandex netting, foam, or rubberized coating, glass inside of it. This is a piece of candy that we tried to make out of candy.
Disgusting.
I'm gonna throw this out.
We went to school together at Pratt. We both studied industrial design. I was a year behind Kai. We never intended to start a business together. That's why there is no business name. It's just our names together.
The idea was never to create a line of products or furniture. It was just always been this process of experimentation and just where it would lead us. This is our clean room where a lot of the mirroring happens, UV gluing happens, the wiring happens, anything that needs to sort of be dust-free.
Yeah, we used to have to stop everything that was going on, clean the studio, run the air filters. Adding this space has been a real game changer for us. We basically make our mirrors here, and this is a UV bonded mirror. So basically, we take these stones and we apply UV glue to them, and we use this light to set the glue. And the reason we have this curtain here is this blocks the sun's UV from prematurely setting the glue. You know, these things are really minor but very satisfying to us. I think we actually got the UV glue to make, these are the lenses for the caviar scones. The way we work is quite nice in that naturally somebody will take the lead doing something.
The glass and the stonework is more in his field. I do metalwork and electronics.
We kind of just have naturally gravitated towards what we're good at. This is our main workspace. We also have some pretty weird tools. This is a stone slab saw. So what this does is it slowly automatically moves a block of stone through this saw, and it's sitting in a tub of oil. So as it's cutting, everything is being splashed with oils to lubricate and to cool it down.
What's sort of interesting to me about both the caviar sconces and the mirrors is that they're very hard to photograph convincingly, and means they're successful to me because we've created an experience that you need to be present for.
You know, there's no running out of inspiration. We're not pulling ideas out of our head. We're seeing what's happening in front of us and responding to it.